The green light has been given, and central banks and financial institutions globally have decided that they're going to invest over $8 trillion, including BlackRock, into XRP in the year of 2026. And it's all going to commence on January 9th in under 6 days. In fact, it's not only BlackRock, but some of the other largest financial institutions like the Bank of America, which officially partnered with Ripple Labs and confirmed that they will be using XRP to facilitate both internal and cross-border payment transactions that it facilitates. Now, this is a big deal because it's a clear green light given to XRP that is set to commence on January 9th across all over the United States of America. We are talking about XRP being the only approved currency that will be used as a payment global standard, with the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, signing a deal to integrate cryptos like XRP within the US financial system to facilitate over $37 trillion in US debt across the world. Basically, all the money is about to run through XRP, and it's about to happen in 6 days on January 9th, 2026, causing for XRP to be over $1,827. And as we look at today's XRP price charts, we are up about 2% in the last 24 hours at $2.06. But the possibility of XRP hitting over $1,000 in the next 6 days is extremely high. And so we've decided to partner with Apple to give every single person watching in today's video up to $100 for you guys to accumulate even more XRP or any crypto that you want. All you have to do is like the video, subscribe, share this video, and most importantly, sign up on Upload using my link in the description to do a transaction. The whole process takes less than 5 minutes. It's literally free money, so I definitely recommend it. Tell your family, tell your friends, claim your bonus before the price of XRP skyrockets and you regret it. And so with that being said, let's get back to it. So it's very important to understand how XRP is about to hit over $1,827, and more importantly, the massive market that is unlocking directly into XRP that is going to cause it to skyrocket on January 9th as globalization of XRP becomes real and payments begin facilitating across the world. And it all starts from RealFi, a massive institution that has officially declared that on January 9th, the payment awards platform is going to expand access for both retail and institutions worldwide, unlocking a massive couple $100 billion market. Now, this is only the start because RealFi announces that their payment reward solution allows users and institutions to submit receipts for purchases made using Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. And that is the most critical, very important element that people are not talking about. Because every single time you get XRP or you buy, let's say, a house using XRP, you buy a car using XRP, you go to the store and you buy something using XRP, you can literally earn rewards / cash back in the real token, which is also built on the XRP ledger. This is going to expand adoption for XRP as more and more people are going to just decide that they want to buy XRP and use that XRP because they get something in return. Imagine cashback, which, see, if you go to the store and you buy with your $100 bill, you get nothing back in return, yet you spent that money. Or you decide to pay from your debit card, you also don't get any money back. But this is the ultimate solution, and it's a traditional change and innovator for the traditional payment awards that's outdated and impractical. What's happening right now is the adoption of XRP at scale, because now you would rather go ahead, buy XRP, use that XRP and earn money back than just, pay with your bill because you get nothing out of it. And so this is where we see the globalization of XRP, but also of the real token, which is about to skyrocket. And it's important to highlight that institutions are building right now on the XRP ledger. One of them is RealFi, unlocking their massive payment solution that's going to, again, unlock billions of dollars. You have BlackRock that is going to buy $8 trillion, but we're talking about a $108 billion market that is going to begin and commence on January 9th. We're going to see the massive unlock of RealFi, the $100 billion market, and then we're going to see increased adoption by other institutions building on the XRP ledger and even buying XRP back. But really what's leading the path is RealFi, and is doing that using the real token, which is also built on the XRP ledger, is up 10%, went from 1/100th of a penny to literally 2.5 cents, and it continues to skyrocket day by day. I mean, I'm extremely bullish on the real token, and I've been talking to you guys about this institution for a very long time, RealFi, and also the reward token that they use, which is the real token, which could literally skyrocket to $65,000. I sound insane, but take a look at this right here, and once this loads up, XRP is at the forefront, but multiple people, and this is analysts, experts, are all talking about Real Token, the new up-and-coming project that is going to go from 3 cents to $64,000 if just 1% of the $650 trillion real estate market flows into the XRP ledger. Real Token could literally do that. Again, we're talking 2 cents to $65,000, and it would all be caused by a historic supply shock because Real Token has a very low supply. See, Real Token has a max supply of 1 billion, compared that to XRP, which is 100 billion, or XLM, which has 50 billion. Real token has a very teeny tiny supply for the amount of market that it's going to unlock. We're talking about the real estate market, which is $650 trillion, but also then you have the payment reward market, which is a couple $100 billion as well. And you're talking about all the other industries that real token is going to be used for. And so that is a very big deal because it shows you how much money is about to get shifted into the real token, which is built on the XRP ledger, and how drastic that supply shock is going to be, which is going to directly impact the price of the real token itself. And while the rest of the market is in the red, we're talking about, Bitcoin being down, XRP being just slightly up. Real token is up substantially at over 10% increase. And this is only the start, because Real token just got listed on MEX. Real token just got listed on CoinMarketCap. I mean, the expansion is going so fast, and we're talking about large-scale expansions. Like, for example, MEX did a massive introduction for the Real token when they listed it. Now they're doing giveaways. CoinMarketCap reached out and decided they wanted to list Real token because it's getting that adoption. But just think about this at scale. Real token right now, because it's very early in the game, and again, it's still relatively new, about a couple months old, $10,000 put into Real token could literally cause the price to skyrocket into potentially, $6, $7, $8, which is insane. We're talking about a project that's literally 2 cents. That is insane money right there. But imagine that at scale now, because it's very possible that Real token goes and does $100,000 in daily transaction volume. That is actually very easy when you're talking about a project that is solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem and that's facilitating, again, billions or tens of billions of dollars in daily, institutional volume. So just imagine that for a second. We could literally see that potentially $100,000 in daily transaction volume could literally cost for a Real token, and this is where things get crazy, to in the hundreds of dollars, and then potentially, again, on an even higher scale, in the thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. And it's very easy when you look at the supply, because there's not enough supply to cover for all of that. And so, yes, you have a very low supply, massive demand, the price ends up soaring, and people make a lot of money. And it kind of reminds me, again, similarly of Bitcoin. When Bitcoin is $1 and it skyrocketed to 120,000, or when Solana was sitting in the pennies and it skyrocketed to $500 to $700. This is a reoccurring trend, but it's not often. And it's very specific projects that are solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem that are utility-based. And Real token is really one of the very few that is doing exactly that, and that you can still get into it very early. Because, again, we've been talking about this project. It was sitting at 100th of a penny. Now it's sitting at 2.5 cents, so it's up hundreds of dollars in percentages. But really, this is only the start, because they weren't listed on any exchange. They were still, again, very difficult to buy. Nobody even knew the name Real token. Nobody knew RealFi was using the Real token, which is RealFi is a massive institution that is using the Real token. Nobody knew, and there was no adoption. It wasn't listed on CoinMarketCap, but now is the start. And as we see more and more adoption of the Real token, there's going to be more expansion, more people are going to see it, and the price is going to soar even higher. And again, supply doesn't increase, so you continue to see it diminish in their supply, and eventually you experience one of the largest supply shocks historically that caused for Real token to hit $65,000, which is why some analysts, again, believe that. And behind every massive project is a major institution, and that is RealFi, for example. RealFi is using the Real token, and on January 9th, it's going to globalize. We're talking about worldwide. January 9th, we could see hundreds of millions of dollars, which could cause a big supply shock. The supply shock that we're talking about that could take Real token to the hundreds and not thousands of dollars could actually happen on January 9th, as we see $100 billion market cap unlocked for Real token. $100 billion daily transaction volume could actually occur, because you're talking about not just retail, which is a massive market, but also institutions, right? Institutions facilitate trillions of dollars on a day-to-day basis, and obviously RealFi seems that they have a lot of network, massive connection with a lot of the big institutions that we're going to see at scale the breakout for millions, trillions of dollars through their platform. And so this is what is being very, very critical right. January 9th is going to be very important. And this is why, again, I bought myself a nice bigger Real token. I'm very bullish on the Real token. I think we could see it soar again. Take a look at the chart here. We could see it soar. I think we're going to see a massive breakout very, very soon. And it's going to be because of the fact, again, institutions are jumping on board. We're seeing that not only is Real token facilitating massive amounts of money, but they're backed by RealFi, which is a massive institution, because RealFi actually uses the Real token. On top of this, we're talking about, they're built on the XRP ledger, which has clear clarity and regulation. I mean, that's very important, but also because XRP is the most efficient cryptocurrency out there. They're the number one. XRP ledger, again, solving on its own a multi-trillion-dollar payment market. So you have on the number one most efficient, cheap, cost-effective, XRP ledger. On top of that, they're solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem. On top of RealFi, a massive institution, actually uses the Real token. And this is RealFi again. I mean, this is so freaking bullish. You can clearly see blockchain power payment rewards. If you look all the way on the right, it literally shows you how it functions. So RealFi basically works with massive institutions to unlock trillions of dollars using the Real token. And they really make it clear that RealFi is built for a massive global adoption payment rewards framework, and it uses the Real token globally to globalize the use case of the payment sector. And so I'll be leaving all the information, all the links, everything down below. I mean, I'm very bullish on XRP. I'm very bullish on the XRP ledger, but most importantly, I'm very bullish on utility-based products that are solving a multi-trillion dollar problem. And so again, I'll be leaving all the links down below in the description. I want to reemphasize that I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice, and you should always be doing your research. And the only reason why I tell you anything in this video is that you guys do dedicate your time to do your research. I just tell you my opinion and what I'm reading online. So with that being said, I'll be leaving all the information down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video. I'll see you guys next time, and peace.